I guess the question is, my hot take is, how is Mike Johnson speaker? And some of you might be asking that same question because I hadn't heard of, and I'm very involved in politics. I hadn't heard of Mike Johnson like ever in my life, and I'm guessing you haven't either. And so the question is, how did he become speaker? And I did some research on this, and I've come to a conclusion. Again, that could be a hot take, but maybe no one will disagree because they don't really know who Mike Johnson is in the first place. The answer to me is that he ran for it. So he personally chose to run for it. And because of his inexperience, which I'm sure you've heard about a lot because the media have really wanted to point that out. And I don't know what inexperience even means. Like, he's been in Congress for the least amount of time. Okay, so what? But the answer is he ran for it. And because he's been in Congress for so little time, he hasn't pissed anybody off. Jim Jordan apparently pissed some people off. Obviously, like Byron Donalds, people, I don't know. I don't really know if Byron Donalds has pissed people off, but they weren't confident enough in him. Mike Johnson, on the other hand, is just a stout Christian conservative. But really quick, I want to talk about the sponsor of this video, Gulag America. I am wearing one of my shirts today. Gulag America is a premium apparel company for patriotic clothing. I'm going to put some images up right now. Right now, if you use my code JoshCarr10, you will get 10% off, as always, at gulagamerica.com. As we head into the colder season, remember, even though I'm wearing a short sleeve right now, some of my favorite stuff that they have is the long sleeves and hoodies. They're very affordable. They have just awesome stuff on them, so please go check them out, again, at gulagamerica.com, as well as if you go to the affiliate program, in their main website, you will see there is Josh Carr Show hoodies as well as short sleeves and long sleeves, so definitely go check that out as well. Again, if you use my code JoshCarr10, you will get 10% off at gulagamerica.com. He's just staunchly believes in what he believes, and he hasn't really done all that much. And he shows strength, just like rhetorically, he speaks well. But he's just inexperienced in a sense, and really doesn't have a lot going on, and he ran for it, and therefore he literally had a unanimous voting for him. And so this is what's weird about it. Like, this is kind of a plus for him that he is inexperienced. Others just didn't have any negative opinions of him. And most Republicans, by the way, they recognize that despite me not being, I'm not upset about there being a speakership fight. I just wish people actually had a plan moving forward. But most Americans don't feel that way. They feel, and I think rightfully so, the Republicans feel that this is a display of weakness. I personally believe that it's a good thing because Republicans need to fight and hash things out. It shows that they're not a cult like the Democrats are. But no one was pissed off by Mike Johnson. And so most of the Republicans were like, yeah, we're kind of ready to like show that we're strong and just vote together. And since he was very conservative, they voted for him. You won't see Matt Gaetz questioning, like if you basically like, you're not going to see Matt Gaetz questioning if he'll do certain things because he just hasn't done much. That's what you see with, Kevin McCarthy, obviously. The reason why Kevin McCarthy was ousted was because of what he was doing in those packages with Ukraine and working with Democrats. Mike Johnson hasn't done any of that. I think Matt Gaetz and Mike Johnson would probably agree on most of their politics anyway. But I'm saying other Republicans who might be more moderate, they don't really have anything to disagree with him on. I reject the notion, though, that it's because you're inexperienced, you can't do a great job in a new job. I think Mike Johnson will do great. I think he's very conservative. I'm very happy about that. I think he'll stop the cash flow into foreign countries, especially Ukraine. And so overall, this turned well. The only way that this could have turned out way better, again, I think most Republicans will look at Mike Johnson and be like, yeah, Mike Johnson is a better choice than Kevin McCarthy because Kevin McCarthy is just a little too moderate. We want conservative stuff to get done. We need someone to kind of be that stopgate between a Democrat president and Senate. But the thing that they could have done better is like, why was Mike Johnson not the plan out the get-go by Matt Gaetz? Why did Matt Gaetz oust Kevin McCarthy without a plan? Because if he had ousted him and next day been like, by the way, Mike Johnson, awesome guy. No one's pissed by him. We should run him instead. And they had gotten it done in the first vote. I think everyone would have looked at that and history would have been like, nice, Republicans just made a more conservative speaker, for them. But instead, they went through this stupid minutia of arguing without a plan for 22 days. And again, I'm fine with the arguing, but you got to argue with a plan. And Matt Gaetz had none. And so, again, you could have cut out 21 days of that argument and just had Mike Johnson been Speaker of the House 3 weeks ago, but it is what it is. I'm happy he's Speaker now. I think he'll do a fantastic job. And that is the end of the podcast today, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. As always, if you got a little bit of value out of this video or other videos, go down, subscribe, as well as comment what you thought about my analysis and debunking of the AP article about X, or if you're happy that Mike Johnson is the Speaker of the House. Thanks, guys.